Hi everyone. Once again, I sincerely welcome you to Spirituality for Dummies, the place where we explore and master ourselves. Today, I want to share something that I realized recently. I finally understand why life keeps disappointing me. And it is not because life is unfair, or people are terrible, or things just never go my way. It is actually something much more closer to home. Because if you really look at it, most of us are constantly expecting life to go a certain way. How people should behave, how situations should unfold, how our future should look like. And when reality doesn't match that, we suffer greatly. So in this video, I want to break down what's really going on and why the problem isn't life. It's our expectations. So the first thing that we need to understand about the human mind is all of us are living with a script in our head, a mental image of how life should go, how people should treat us, how situations should unfold, how our future should look like. And most of the time, we are not even aware of it. We often walk into every situation already expecting something. Maybe you expect things to go smoothly. Maybe you expect someone to behave a certain way. Or maybe you expect a specific outcome. But here's the problem. Reality doesn't follow your script. It doesn't give a damn about what you think at all. At the moment reality doesn't match what you had in your mind, you feel it. Frustration, disappointment, sometimes even anger. Not because something is objectively wrong, but because it is not going the way you expected it. And this is where it gets interesting. In Buddhism, there's a simple idea that most of our suffering doesn't come from life itself, but from our attachment of how life should be. In other words, it's not what happens that hurt us. It's our expectation of what should have happened hurt us the most. So the issue isn't always the situation itself. It's the invisible expectations we are carrying into it. And this leads to the next realization. Suffering comes from the gap between expectation and reality. The bigger of expectation, the bigger the disappointment when things don't go our way. And you can actually see this happening in real time, every day. Just the other day, I had a moment where someone came into my office, and in my head, I was already like, damn, what now? What again? I was expecting some kind of tension or problems, or even drama. But instead, she came in and gave me food. Completely unexpected, caught me off guard. Completely opposite of what I had in mind. And that moment really hit me hard because I realized the stress I felt wasn't coming from the situation. It came from the expectations, or rather, the imaginations I created before anything even happened. And this is what happened to us all the time. We expect people to act a certain way, and when they don't, we get frustrated. We expect situations to go smoothly, and when they don't, we feel disappointed. We expect life to follow a certain rules, plans, and when it doesn't, we feel like nothing is working in our favor, and we feel like something is wrong with our life. But nothing is actually wrong. Reality is just being reality. The suffering comes from the gap between what is happening and what we think should be happening. So now the question is, if expectations cause so much of suffering, why do we have them in the first place? And why are they so strong until they can dictate our life, dictate our happiness? The answer is, we have been conditioned this way our entire lives. From young, we are taught how life should be, what success looks like, how relationships should work, how people should treat us, and what kind of future we are supposed to have. And over time, All these ideas form a mental blueprint in our head about how life should be. On top of that, expectations also gives us a sense of control. When we expect things to go a certain way, it feels like we understand life, like we can predict what's coming next. It gives us comfort because our brain hates uncertainty. And that's biology, and there's nothing we can do about it because this sense of being in control has helped humans survive throughout the evolution. But the reality is, life has never been under our control at all. And on top of that, there's the ego, the part of us that believes things should go our way. This shouldn't happen to me. They shouldn't act like this. Things should be different by now. Ever ring a bell? Yeah, that's what we always say in our daily lives. These shoulds and don'ts has been so integral in our life and our language, and we don't even recognize them. And the stronger this sense of should becomes, the more fragile we become. Because now, anything that doesn't match our expectations feels like a big problem. But of course, I'm not saying ego is a bad thing, because ego gives our current life a point of view to experience, to feel everything. The problem is, a lot of people nowadays emphasizes the use of ego way too much than it should be, making their egos do the job they are not supposed to be its job, like obsession and having a great expectation towards life. So as we discussed, expectations aren't random. They are built from conditioning, from our need for control, and from the belief that life is supposed to follow our script. And this is the part where everything clicks. After noticing this, I realized life isn't here to fulfill our expectations. Life is here to break them. Every situation that doesn't go your way, every person who acts differently than you imagined, every plan that falls apart, it's all part of life showing you that reality doesn't care about your script at all. And honestly, that's a good thing. Because if life always matched your expectations, you'd never grow, you'd never learn. And imagine how bad would it be if reality follows our mental script, because a lot of people nowadays have untrained mind. And if reality really follows them, damn, this whole world will be in chaos. The more life breaks your expectations, the more opportunities you have to let go, to see clearly, and to actually enjoy the surprises that reality gives you. And really think about it. The tension you feel when something doesn't go your way, that's actually a doorway to awareness. The more we resist it, the more suffering we create. What we resist persists. The more we see it for what it is, the more freedom we get. And here's the kicker. When you finally embrace this, when you stop trying to force life to fit your script, suddenly, little moments start to surprise you. You will be happy and grateful to the smallest thing possible in life, which is, in a way, a good experience of itself, in my opinion. Just like that time, someone came in unexpectedly and gave me food instead of what I was bracing for. That's when you start realizing life isn't a problem at all. Your expectations are. Your life isn't falling apart. Your expectations are. Till next time, bye bye.